without further ado, I would like to bring up Mila Lynn.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. I'm gonna I was like, I'm gonna put my phone over here. I got my little stopwatch going because I like to go off on tangents, so I hope that we don't go too long on this. So like Red said, I got to know them when we were in Miami, and I'm a visual artist. I just moved to Detroit officially in the last year and a half. I bought a house on the east side of Detroit, so I'm officially here, and I'm loving it. So just to get like a feel, how many people here are artists or identify as a creative person? Okay, so like mostly everybody here. Okay, what about people that identify as like art appreciators? Like you're not necessarily artists, but like to appreciate, y'all collect. Okay, you both, right? You fit in both. All right, cool. So we'll go ahead and get into this. Last year in 2024, the global art market was calculated to be around $57.5 billion. I'm gonna just like let that sit with y'all. Like $57.5 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't even know that I'm gonna see $1 billion in my lifetime, but I want to point that out because there's also a statistic that 1 in 6 of us artists will make over $25,000 a year. And then 1 in 10 of us artists will make over $100,000 a year. But yeah, there's like this whole idea within the artistic realm that artists are struggling. And, just for shits and giggles last night, I was like, well, let me look up like how much they say you could make and live like comfortably in Detroit, right? Because we're all in Detroit. Like, what are they saying you need to make to have like a decent life? And they said, if you manage your budget wisely, you could do like 63 a year and be straight. So some of us are not full-time artists. And if you bring in an extra 25K on top of whatever your art business is, that's all right. You're doing pretty good. I could use an extra 25K, like I'm straight. And then if you're making over 100K, like, I think you're good. You're all right. So when I was talking about the whole struggling artist thing, I don't believe in that personally. And like, I don't believe in that so much. So I find when people refer to artists as struggling, it's like derogatory to me. It's extremely offensive because I feel like people only struggle at what they don't try at. And that's not to say like if anybody in here is in between opportunities, right? Not struggling, y'all in between opportunities that you're not trying. It's to say that I feel like there are actionable steps that you can take to get out of the struggle. So you don't have to be a struggling artist. It's not something that you identify with. It might be a season, but like we as artists are not just constantly struggling all the time. That's crazy. So my introduction to being an artist, like a career artist, was I did 2 things, right? This was like back in 2017, 2018. I did 2 crazy things. The first crazy thing I did was I decided to date a man who was banned from the US and he lived in the UK. And I was like, okay, I won't necessarily say that I regretted it, or that I regret it now, but hey, would I do it again? I don't know. The second crazy thing that I did was I decided to go to this other country and get an art studio and just say like, I'm gonna tap in with my craft and see what happens. And while I was in the UK, there was an art studio a lot like the Russell Center here in Detroit. How many people are familiar with the Russell? Yeah. Mostly everybody? Okay. So this place was called the Wimbledon Art Studios, and it was like this big paper mill that they had transformed into art studios. There's about 200 artists there, and these people were showing all over the world because if anybody knows anything about the UK, like it's like the New York of the world. Like everybody is riding trains here, going to this country, traveling here. A lot of people are from other countries and just have settled in London. So there's a lot of successful artists in all these different disciplines. And I thought, okay, like I'm so close to these people in proximity, I could be one of these people one day, Like if I'm that close to somebody who's successful, like why can't it be me too? There were people that were popping on social media. There were people that were on art shows, like competition shows. There was people who had accolades. associated with museums. They were teaching all types of things. Like, you really could tap in with anybody that you wanted to. And so that's why I don't believe in the whole struggling artist, because I got to see real artists in real time making it happen. And when I came back to the US, I was like, well, I live in this country, so I could just put my foot on the gas and let's go. But with that, all this being said, like, it's still artists that struggle, right? And so how can we get around that? What are these actionable steps that I was referring to for people to be successful? We'll get into that. But I think that we all got to start by treating our art careers, our creative careers, as a business, because it is, right? Like, it is. It's just super simple. Okay, so another question for y'all. Have y'all ever been to a bakery that only sells one type of bread? Y'all not gonna go in and get wheat and rye and sourdough. Like, y'all going to the sourdough bakery, they only gonna have one type of bread. It's only gonna come in this type of loaf. You're not getting it cut, because cut is extra. You can't get a half a loaf, you gotta get the full loaf. Like, have you ever been to a bakery that just sells one bread, that's it? If you have, please raise your hand. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about, right? They're like, this girl had too much coffee. What is she talking about? Okay, let's try another one. Y'all like coffee? Y'all drink coffee? Okay. Have y'all been to a coffee shop? And I like to call it gas station coffee, right? Because I don't believe in anything that's not a latte, because what are we doing? That's crazy. But have y'all gone to the coffee shop where you got the drip coffee? They're not doing lattes. You're not going to get a muffin. You're not going to get a bagel. You're just going to go in. They got the drip, like the little drip thing there. They're like, okay, let's take your money, get your little drip, get out. Like, that's it. You're not at the gas station. You can't get no snacks. Like, it's just the drip coffee. How many of y'all been there? Okay, did y'all go back? Like, hell no. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, last one for y'all. How many of you know an artist who just paints one type of thing? Or they just do paintings and they don't draw? Or they just, they just sketch and they don't do murals? Like, they just got one bag that they in. Y'all know? Okay, I see head nods. Right. This feels problematic to me. Because as a business, how do you only have one product that you put out there for people to consume? It's okay to not like to do certain things, right? But if you limit yourself by just doing one thing, that means you can only access one type of opportunity as it arises, right? So I don't identify as a face painter. Have I collected a check for face painting? Yes, I have. Am I a great face painter? No, but I know that that's something that I can hop into and rise to the occasion when I do. When I first started out, I decided that I needed to learn how to make money quickly as an artist. And the people that I knew that was making money quickly as artists were caricature artists, right? I had an understanding that if I go to the theme park, this person is gonna draw me in 2 to 3 minutes, and they walking away with anywhere from like 15 to low key like $75 if I get some color and they frame it up nice. Like, they're making some money. And I wanted to learn how to do that because, like I told y'all, I had that crazy experience where I was dating this guy who was banned from the US and I needed to go and travel him. And, I couldn't work in other countries, whatever. We're not going to get into it. It's okay. But I was like, okay, I need to do something where I can make money no matter where I'm at. So I had tried to look online. And at this time, I don't even know if TikTok was alive and thriving because this was like pre-COVID. But I was trying to find YouTube videos, couldn't even lock in with YouTube videos that were teaching people how to do caricatures. So I was like, okay, I need to find a real person. Where are these real people at? And I found a interview for Busch Gardens. It's a theme park in Tampa. Y'all heard of Busch Gardens? Okay, cool. So I lived in Miami and I was like, I'm gonna go to Tampa, which is like 3-something hours away, and interview for this job. And at we met at like a Panera. The guy was like, do not move to Tampa from Miami. You're not gonna make money. Do not come here. You're not gonna like Tampa. And I was like, okay, well, are you gonna teach me how to paint? Are you gonna teach me how to do caricatures? Like, if I don't come here, can I pay you to mentor me, whatever? And he's like, oh, unfortunately, the way my time is set up, I can't train people who are not hired into the company. And I was like, okay, so I'm moving to Tampa. And I left and I finessed myself into student housing because I was still young and cute then. And like I moved to Tampa and learned how to do caricatures. And that is something that is still a skill of mine. Do I feel like I'm the best caricature artist? No. But I can get a random booking at any time to do caricatures and pop up and know that it's not gonna take any prep work, right? I gotta have my paper, my notepad, I gotta have my markers, I gotta have my easel. I'm straight. I go, I pop out, I draw some faces, I go home, I don't gotta think about it anymore. And that's really nice to have in between mural projects or in between oil commissions or in between whatever I got going on, to just have something that doesn't take a lot of extra creativity from me. So y'all are creative. I don't need to teach anybody in this room how to be creative. It's just about how can we diversify our creativity so it appeals to more people. Because again, everybody don't need a mural every week. Everybody don't need an oil painting every week. Everybody don't even need a caricature artist every week. But if on week 1 you painted caricatures, week 2 you got the mural, and week 3 maybe you face paint. I don't know. Like you gonna have a bag every week, and that's cool. So what are some reservations about that, right? Like people might be like, oh, well, you're trying to be a jack of all trades. You really low-key a master of none. That's cool, that's fine. I'm sure everybody here understands that as a creator, your skills from this craft play into the rest of them. Even in life, like, I know you're a DJ, right? Like the DJ sauce plays into how you interact with people. They all play a role. So I don't think that the jack of all trades, master of none really applies to artists because we're naturally creative people. And I know I see heads nodding like, y'all know, I'm just up here telling y'all what y'all already know. And then the other thing would be that like people just say like they don't want to do it, right? I don't want to do this. I'm somebody who, I don't care what y'all tell me today, I am not making a logo. And have I at one point made a logo for people? Yes. Will I ever do that ever again? Absolutely not, because I don't fucking like fonts. I don't understand them. And I don't know how to make this make sense with your brand. That's not me. I don't know it. I don't get it. Whatever. You need a picture, I could draw it. But the logo thing, no. But we're all adults, right? Sometimes it's just shit you gotta do. And I had to do that logo that one time. Not gonna do it again. But again, to go with like shit you just gotta do, right? How many of y'all are in relationships? Let's get close. Okay, I'll raise my hand. I'm in a relationship. I think it's healthy most days. Can y'all tell me some key elements to like a successful relationship? Like, let's see who's got the knowledge. Communication. Okay, that's a nugget. Go ahead, Red. Trust. Okay. Honesty, I like it. Respect. Consideration. What was it? Listening, for sure, right? Okay. So I want y'all to be in relationships with your customer base. Now, do I mean y'all finna go out, y'all gonna have dinner, you gonna have a nightcap, that's your client? Absolutely not. Actually, I recommend against it. Please do not go out with your clients and have nightcaps, because this is how you become messy in the art world, in the business world anyways. They're gonna talk about you, they might not say it, but you're gonna have a name that everybody call you behind your back. But what I'm saying is be in a relationship with your customer base. And for me, the 2 key elements that I feel like apply to relationships and business are communication and then investment. You need to be invested in the people that you're doing business with. Now, I think that communication can be, let me get away from that speaker. I think communication can be a difficult thing, right? Because sometimes it's uncomfortable. A couple years ago, was doing this project with the city of Lansing, so that's where I'm from, is Lansing, Michigan. And it was how to do electrical boxes. Like they invited artists to come and paint electrical boxes to kind of, beautify the city, whatever. They weren't paying, but I was like, oh, I think we can get people to pay for it because people would like to support the arts. If I'm just like, hey, we need to cover paint, cover a little bit of our time, I'm sure somebody will jump up for the opportunity. And they did. And then after we painted that box, we got somebody else to sponsor another box. But unfortunately, or fortunately, by that point, I had already had another opportunity come my way that I needed to take advantage of just because it made more sense for my situation at the time. But the issue was I communicated to that person, like, I'm gonna get to it. Like, I just gotta push it off a little bit. And I kept pushing it off and kept pushing it off. And then winter came. And if y'all know anything about Michigan, who painted outside in the winter? Like, we're not doing that. Matter of fact, most of y'all lived here your whole life and don't, most of us, like, let me not say y'all, most of us have lived here most of our life and still don't want to go outside in the winter. So I'm definitely not painting out there. But I pushed it off, and then the spring came. And again, I was fortunate enough to have other projects that I decided I was more excited for. I was like, okay, in the summer, I'm gonna get to it. And then let me tell you what I got to in the summer. Making a baby. So I got pregnant. And y'all know, I know y'all seen the labels on the back of the paint. That stuff is super toxic. You're not supposed to have none of that around pregnant women. You know, maybe some acrylic paints, you can get by with that. Maybe some oils, but you can't clean your brushes. Like, it's a whole lot of stuff you gotta do. But for painting outside and having things that last, that was not the way forward. So I told him, like, yo, I'm pregnant. Way after I decided that I was going to tell people I was pregnant. And does anybody in here have kids or pushed out a kid? You know, okay. So I just want to let you know how uneducated I was about how that whole thing works. I was like, okay, I'm pregnant right now, but when I'm done being pregnant, right, after I have the baby, if I don't get this project done within 6 weeks after having the baby, I will give you your money back. And if y'all know anything about having a baby, you literally have a wound healing inside of you for at minimum 6 weeks after you have a baby. I don't even know. I just, like, it's sometimes things come out of my mouth and I'm like, this girl, like, she should say stuff. She should just be quiet, you know? Anyways, so obviously I didn't get the electrical box painted. And again, it was uncomfortable for me to communicate with this person because I basically had to tell them that I wasn't capable of doing something that they were extremely interested in me doing in the first place. They wanted to support me, and now I had to communicate that, like, I had fallen short on that agreement or that idea. And it took me some time, but I ended up writing them a long apology because I realized that if I didn't make this situation right, they might be scorned towards artists going forward and be like, yeah, no, I don't support the artists. Like, artists are shiesty. Artists run off with your money. Like, let me tell you, you see Mila? You see that girl on Instagram? Like, she done run off with my money. And she don't even respond to my DMs. Here she go posting all the time, thinking she cute. She got my money. Like, I don't want somebody running around saying that about me. So I apologized to him. I sent him his money back. Mind you, this was over a couple of years, right? And I just, told him, like, I hope that you don't feel no type of way towards artists, yada, yada, yada. But the whole point of the story is that I constantly have to communicate in uncomfortable situations. And that is a big part of why I also get jobs, right? There's a lot of clients that I've worked with, and I'm not the most fire artist. Like, I'm okay saying that. It's people that are way better than me, but they don't necessarily have the communication skills. So somebody will work with me over them because they know that they can trust me with whatever the project is, or that if they can't, I will communicate that to them. I shouldn't be laughing about that. That's not funny. But, that's how I handle stress. Yeah, and then the other thing I was talking about, right, is being invested in your clients. So when I lived in Miami, there was a bodega in the bottom of my building. Everybody would go, they get their little cafecito, they get their little tortilla, and then, you would be on your merry way. But because it was at the bottom of a condo, like, everybody there was our neighbors. And I don't know how the conversation came up, but the guy was from Michigan. I think he had met my parents one time when they were visiting, whatever. We connected, and I told him that I was like, I think I'm gonna start being an artist, He was like, okay, you need to get involved in the community. Like, no matter where you go, just get involved in the community. And when I tell you, that might be the single-handed best advice that I've ever gotten. was to be involved. Y'all all nodding your heads, so you know, like, you go outside, and outside is where the opportunities are, or outside is where the people are. And that doesn't mean that I just go outside to like hope that people are gonna want to hire me to make art. Like, I don't be on the bus like, you need a painting? Like, that's what I do, you know? I don't do that. That's crazy. But I will find an opportunity to tell you that I'm an artist. And then you can be front of mind for people. And so there's a couple things, right? Like, does anybody identify as being an introvert, or, you know, like, you don't really do people? Okay. So going outside for y'all might be a lot sometimes. But the thing is, you can still go outside. You could choose like one event to go to, right? You go outside, REDD, you go outside, you ain't got to talk to people because people are like, who is that? What is going on here? REDD, you know, they want to talk to you. You got it. REDD has figured out what REDD is going to do, you know? But you go outside, you mingle with a couple people, you know, I like your jacket, I like your shoes, whatever. It don't even got to be about the art, but you find a way to do it where it works for you. But using being introvert and antisocial as a reason to not go outside and network when you want to be a business owner within the art space or just the entrepreneurial space is just crazy. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, we're not doing that. The other thing that people will say is like, oh, well, it takes a lot of time. There's so many events. I got a baby too. Bring the kid, whatever. People are weird. I don't want to bring the kid. Don't bring the kid. Okay. But again, just choose one event. You don't got to be at all of them because, matter of fact, you're probably going to see the same face at a couple of these events. So if you go to one, you'll be good. You might miss like 5 people, but you're probably going to see them at another event next month. So we good on that. Y'all like this? I got little notes. I'm like, let me see. Okay, we doing all right. So, okay, we was talking about relationships. Here's another question for y'all. Y'all gonna love this one. Who has ever been catfished? Okay. It is an epidemic, okay? Especially in this day and age. I'm not up here to talk about AI. I'm not up here to talk about the apps. I'm not here for none of that. But what I am saying is that catfishing is an epidemic, a pandemic, whatever you want to call it. So I bring that up because I think some artists are catfishing. Some artists are catfishing. They are. And I'll explain it, right? Y'all need to be cultivating your authenticity, but some people are out here chasing trends. And when you're chasing trends, you are catfishing because that is not you. And Detroit, in my opinion, is one of the most authentic cities. I've been a lot of places. I ain't been every place. I've been a lot of places, and I am blessed to live in Detroit right now. Because people, thank you. Yes, clap it up. Detroit is fire. Detroit is super authentic. Like, you can even look around this room and like everybody got their style. Darren got pink shoes on, like all black, pink shoes. He's trying to stand out, but like low key, like they're gonna see my shoes, you know? But my whole point is this is such, like everybody just is like very themselves here. Not everybody, but a lot of people are themselves here. So we should all feel comfortable to just be ourselves. But as a newer artist, less mature artist, I was often told, yo, paint so-and-so, they pass, right? Paint Nipsey, it's gonna go crazy. Everybody's gonna buy it. Paint DMX, you're gonna get 100,000 likes. Paint X, did you see what happened? Like, all this stuff, and I fell into the trap one time. I did. I was like, let me do a little Nipsey thing real quick. Let's see what happens, you know? I sold one of those Nipsey pieces. Mind you, I wasn't even like a huge Nipsey fan. Like, I fuck with Nipsey. Can I say? Yeah, right? I fuck with Nipsey, right? But like, I wasn't like a huge Nipsey fan, so it didn't even like align with me, right? Like, I'm over here trying to paint somebody that is like, you now just messing with them since they passed. Like, that energetically feels crazy, right? Or now we got TikTok. People be like, paint a picture, do the TikTok dance, whatever. I don't know none of the TikTok dances, okay? But like, they be doing TikTok dances. I don't know, it's something like this, right? We was talking about that at dinner last night. I don't know. They eating it up, whatever. I'm not sure. But the whole point is like we following trends to get likes online, and it will feel easy, right? Following trends might feel easy because here go the sauce right here, people telling you what to do. But I think that we need to look at it in the reverse of like, okay, well, what type of client or person am I attracting? I'm attracting somebody who's easily entertained. And if they easily came to me just because I was popping off a trend, they can easily go somewhere else. They're not invested in me, they're invested in the trend. Because I was catfishing. I was catfishing. Girl, you ain't like Nipsey, name one song. So I'm encouraging all of us and reminding myself, right? Because like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I don't know everything up here. I'm not the expert in the room, just like another creative here to talk to you. I'm encouraging all of us to just like step into our authenticity. And that's a real hot word right now too. Everybody's talking about being authentic and like, what, I was at a talk the other night and somebody was like, what does that even mean? And I don't think they really meant it, but it was like, everybody says it. So what does it actually mean? And that means being you, like sitting with you, all the parts of you, the ugly parts, the cool parts, the whatever, and discovering what you want to put out into the world. I recently just had this experience where the majority of my career, I've been a commission-based artist, right? That means people coming to me, telling me what to paint. I paint it for them, they pay me, yay, that's fun. But I was able to prep for a show that I had coming up in DC, and it was no commission, right? It was just like, you go make what you make, and hopefully people like it. And it had been so long since I had properly been in the studio, like every day grinding it out, that the stuff that I created, I was like, damn, I really like this. And it feel like I felt excited about the work because it's a true reflection of me. So if anybody's familiar with my artwork, part of what I like to do is I like to paint on vinyl records and cassette tapes and just musical items. And I'm not the only person to do that, right? Like you could say, oh, well, maybe she's following a trend, whatever. Like I'm not the only person to do that, but the reason why I do it is super specific to me as an individual. And if you get to sit and talk to me, then you'll understand how closely aligned it is with my story. But I had to sit with myself to find out that that's even what I wanted to do, right? Like, and I think a lot of times we're so focused on making the money and not thinking, like, I don't need to create what people want, right? That's the other issue. A lot of times I go to places and people are like, how do you know what people want? They be on trends. Threads. Sorry, I just got on Threads. You know the little app thing that's like Twitter? Okay. I hate social media, but I got on Threads and I'm like, okay, we'll figure it out. And I don't know, you just kind of like talk to nobody and then people pop up and they like interact with you, whatever. So anyways, I got on Threads, but a lot of times like it just turned into like a whole bunch of art stuff. And people were like, how do you know what to paint? How do you know what to charge? And these are real questions, but you don't need to know what people want. Because who cares, right? Again, I was just talking about how this is one of the most authentic cities I've ever been in. Who cares what people want? People want you, they just don't know it. Like, yeah, I am a big fan of saying, like, people don't know what they want till you tell them what they want. And that's okay. But that's all that all these ads do. You didn't know that you had plaque psoriasis until you saw that ad on the TV and you was like, shit, let me go talk to my doctor. And I'm only bringing that up because I still don't know what plaque psoriasis is, but I wonder if I might have it. I think I might want Excedrin or whatever the medication is. I think I might need it. But the whole point is you're constantly being sold to all the time, so you don't need to know like what the market wants. You need to be comfortable in yourself so that other people can relate to you and identify that like, yo, I see that painting with the girl right there. I got a daughter. That's me. That feels warm. I want that in my home. And you know, continue to learn about you. So again, right? We was talking in the beginning about like 1 in 6 of us gonna make over $25K a year. That's what they say. And 1 in 10 of us, right? It's like 10 people. Somebody here about to make 100K. Yes, Ray is gonna make 100K this year. So yeah, I'm not here to continue to talk at y'all. I wanted to bring up a couple of things because I feel like if y'all use diversification, communication, and your own authenticity, you can build an unstoppable art business. It don't gotta go crazy overnight, but you will have the longevity. And maybe the first year you won't make 25K, but maybe the next year you make 60K, right? Just off the consistency. So that's my talk, y'all. You know, just do it. With a little check. Just do it. And that's that. Okay, Red, come get this mic. Can we give another round of applause for Mila, please?